Right, so here we go, round two. This time it's the CB500X, which is the 2016 model. A few enhancements, LED lights, slightly different nose. It's got a petrol cap that pivots rather than come straight off. There's the previous NC750 right next to it. And we'll see how we get on. Ooh. Okay, so height off ground seems about the same. The wing mirrors seem to be in a weird position. Okay. Right. So no gear select on this, just fuel, speed, time, revs, usual stuff like that. If anything, it seems a slightly wider seat, which is interesting. Foot position seems okay. Doesn't feel uncomfortable. And there's an adjustable, seems to be the same kind of throttle grippage. So let's see if we can get it off. Oh no, there's a stunt bike over there. Okay, clutch is very much there. Okay, so first of all, it has slightly different gear ratios than what I'm used to on the previous bike. And actually the front windscreen looks like some sort of pair of nostrils, which is interesting. We've got the usual fun and games with the horn again, the position of the horn anyway, but not to worry. And yeah, it's not massively dissimilar to the previous one. Not as wide on the front tank. I'm not sure if the NC750 has a bigger fuel tank, but it certainly seems physically larger at the front. This bike feels very, very light to move around. Yeah, it seems a smaller bike. The foot pedals seem okay. I guess where you'd expect them. They might feel maybe slightly lower down on the other one. Right, so we're off. Let's try not to press the horn now this time when I come around this corner. There we go. Right, good. Okay, so acceleration isn't too bad. Brakes seem to be okay. Although that chap there is sitting on the roundabout, which is a bit weird. I don't know if he was worried I was going to go straight on. Okay. So yeah, this is a slightly less torquey engine. It still seems pretty fast. The handlebars seem slightly different position, almost angled towards me, which maybe is just the way they've set it up. Looking at it, it could be that. The steering is very light, and it feels a much smaller bike, not necessarily in a bad way. People said that the LCD screen is difficult to see. I certainly have no issue seeing that LCD screen. It's fine, it's very clear, and yeah, it's so far so good. Seems to be plenty of pickup in terms of throttle. I might just see what it's like going around people. Okay. Possibly slightly more buffeting, not sure. We'll have to see. Yeah, the handlebars are in a different position to the NC750. Not sure if that's a bad thing. It's in quite as high. It seems a bit closer to my body, which again might not be a bad thing. Yeah, the acceleration isn't too bad, except we got some rain now. That's not good. Okay, let's pull around these people. It's a bit of a queue here all of a sudden, not quite sure why. It's a queue that wasn't here before. It looks to be the queue going down the Gloucester Road, which is a little bit weird. LED bright lights look good on the front headlights. Not quite sure what the yeah, the gear changes are quite nice actually, quite smooth. Easy to use. Seating position still seems comfortable, maybe not as high as the NC750. It doesn't feel like a cheap bike actually, although they say obviously with the price it is, but it certainly doesn't feel like that riding it. And looking at the dash here, there's a few bolts and things which actually have a potential for mounting sort of sat navs or whatever. You could put it here obviously, but then you've got to keep looking down. Up there is a bit more on your eye line. I have seen someone do that by mounting a bar across that and then using a sort of circular clamp to attach the sat nav to that. So the joys of traffic. The clutch feels pretty light. There's certainly space actually down here on the dash here, down here for any sort of extra instrumentation you want to put on, or even maybe a USB charger or something. On my other bike I've got a sort of a battery power level meter, which is quite useful if you're running extra electrical equipment. You can see what the drain is like. And this weather is certainly turned a bit nasty, but never mind. Hopefully you can still see stuff. So the one thing I need to test is going from 30 to 60 or 70. Seems to be a bit windier now. I don't know if that's the bike itself or what. It's a little bit of wobbling around. Okay, it's handling. This is 6th gear, 70 miles an hour. It doesn't feel like it's straining the engine. It doesn't feel like it was difficult to get to that speed. Again, the brakes seem fine. Downshifting seems okay. Getting into neutral is okay. Generally go down into first, then come up, rather than try and do it in between 2 and 1. It's easier by the looks of it. Actually, the throttle pull away is quite nice. It's only 2nd gear. Not so much in 1st gear because all you've got is revs. That's 3rd. And yeah, it still seems pretty strong. The wing mirrors seem slightly closer to me than on the NC750. Again, that's obviously a position you can move if you want to move them, but in this default setup that they've given me here, it's certainly seems a bit closer. There's no problem with visibility. The shape of these is different obviously to the NC750, but it's not a bad thing. So we'll try at 30, 40, 50, 60, so a little bit slower, 60, 70, yeah, that's third gear. It's not too bad, it's certainly livable. So we're just going to do our usual trick of heading down to the car park. Ooh, so we can have a look at it. Right, there's a lot of trucks coming around, but that's okay. Fortunately now it's a little bit wet on the ground, so I'm just going to be a bit careful. Ooh, on and off throttle in second or third is a bit iffy. Let's make sure we get that right. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Might have a bit of a queue coming back by the looks of it. Don't know if something's happened in the last half hour, but Gloucester has suddenly got really busy. Okay, well speed-wise it's fine. And it's not going to break any acceleration records, but you don't need more than that. I'm used to sort of leaning in and down to go around a corner, which is a little bit weird with these handlebars. You're almost getting closer to them and my body's almost touching them when you go around a corner, but maybe that's just a habit thing. I would say the wind protection is not quite as good as the NC750. It might be the weather and I'm unfairly judging it, but it does seem to be slightly windier, and the front wheel does seem to be wandering around a little bit more than the other bike, but it's not dangerous or anything. It's just a different feel, I suppose. So I'll stick it in 6th gear and try and get a pull from 4th, 40. So this is 40 flat, 50, 60, 70, and it's raining again. Right, so yeah, you do need to use the gears a bit on this, but it's not a problem really. Another bit of train of let's just see. Oh, standing up's okay. Yeah, another biker. Got a bit of a learner here. So off we go. We're almost at the point where I can park up, have a look. Suspension seems fine. Rain though, blimey, not nice. So I'm going to pull in here, I think. It's my usual stop. I might just cut across here this time. So slow speed. Maneuverability seems fine. Okay, neutral's fine. Okay, finding the foot peg is fine if you use your toe rather than your heel, but otherwise it's a little bit close to the rear, the left side peg. So there we go. This is the 500X. I actually like the design of it. It's got LED front headlights and also two little side light LEDs. Let's just try it with the full beam on. Yeah, that's pretty nice too. Yeah, it's a nice bike actually. It's not massively loud. It sounds alright though. Yeah, sounds okay. One of the things they mentioned on another forum is that there are plastic cables that sometimes can touch. You can't really see them, but they're just here. You want to avoid that touching the pipes, obviously. But the shroud around the bottom is nice. I'm surprised they don't protect the engine a little bit, but I guess it's not fully faired, is it? So that's fair enough. Back of it seems nice. LED brakes, similar to the NC750 in that respect, just a smaller version. Right then, we better get back. How easy is it to get on? Yeah, it's alright actually. It's like a rubberized seat, so it does kind of grip your trousers when you're trying to get on and off it. But it's not a problem really. So what I'd like to try out is the 30 to 70 in third sort of rate. Ooh. I'll just wait for this lady. Okay. Go on then lady, off you go. Right, so second, third. Right, okay, so we're in third at 30 now. Right, ready, flat out, go. So there's 40, 50, 60, 70. I changed gear then. Does it cut out? Okay, this one revs a lot higher. Okay, the red line is until almost 9. I don't know if this one has a cutout. Okay, I can't tell. Doesn't seem to. It sounds like it's screaming its head off when you get up there, but you don't actually need to. I mean, let's just see what we're doing here. So at 60 mile an hour, it's doing about 4,000. So that's quite comfortable, really. So yeah, it actually is quite nice. This bike is growing on me. I think when I originally got on it, I think I still preferred the previous one, but actually once you get used to this bike and how it works, and the fact actually that it revs actually quite high, that it sort of grows on you. I do feel that you can kind of throw this one around a bit more. It certainly leans into corners a bit better. I'm hoping there isn't a whole load of traffic up here, but there might be. If there is, I might take a slightly different route, so risky as that is. And that might be a good time to try out sort of riding in a different style around sort of more congested areas. Sort of cul-de-sacs and that sort of thing. Although to be honest, this one will be fine with that. It would really be a problem for a much bigger bike. So it's amazing the miles per gallon this bike can achieve in on paper anyway. Not really sure what the buttons do here. Can try pressing one, see what happens. Okay. So there's trip numbers. Trip B, trip A, ambulance. The traffic's gone, that's fine. Okay, the average it's showing on here is 58 miles per gallon, which is quite nice. Certainly a lot better than my 42 that I get on the CB500X. Okay, slow speed manoeuvrability is pretty nice. Because it's so light and the steering is so light, actually going and balancing at low speeds is totally different to what I'm used to. It doesn't feel unbalanced, but any small movements have more of an impact, I guess. Yeah, I can just about hear the exhaust, not dramatically. Okay, everyone's pulling off a bit of bumps here, see how it copes with that. Yeah, it seems fine. Right, let's try a bit of acceleration. Okay, it's fine. It's not quite as fast as the NC750, but it's pretty good. It's fast enough. So I'm doing, motorway speeds. And it seems to be fine. Braking and turning is slightly better on this. I'm not sure about filtering, and I'm certainly not going to try it, but I'd imagine it's fine. It's quite wide, I suppose. Well, it feels it. I think mainly it's the handlebars, but yeah, there seems to be enough pull in the engine. Brakes seem good, back brake is fine. Yeah, in fact back brake's better than my bike, and the front brake seems to be strong considering it's only one caliper. So clunking down the gears is just as clunky as it is on my bike. Yeah, I'm much more comfortable going over bumps on this bike than I am on my CB500. It's maybe it's just the height, but obviously a slightly larger front wheel as well, and much more room to move on the suspension. Oh, there's a KTM. Is it a Duke? Can't tell. It might not be actually. Okay. So, the big question really, which one is better? The Honda NC750 or the Honda CB500X? It's a tough one actually. I think I did like the feel of the 750. It was a much more substantial machine. It seemed to be less affected by the wind, although in fairness I think the wind has gone up since I've used it, even though in that short space of time, but it feels like a bigger machine. It's got certainly more acceleration, but the acceleration does have its downsides. It's fairly consistent throughout the range, but it does die off a little bit towards the end of its rev range, and its rev range doesn't go that high. So although it's fun and it accelerates well, it doesn't have that ultimate high rev feel, I suppose, that you get with the 500X. The manoeuvrability, I think it does feel, because it's a bigger bike, that it has a bit more time required to turn into corners on the 750. It's certainly for leaning purposes anyway, it just felt a bit more, well, I don't know, just a little bit trickier to turn into corners. This bike feels nimble compared to the other one, so this guy wants to overtake me. Okay, go on then. Let's just go around him as well. Oh, the average miles per gallon has gone up since I've been riding it, so that's a bit odd, considering I've been fairly aggressive with it, but that's good news really. It's now 59.3 and it was 80 something before, so either someone before me had it on the red line the whole time. I'm not sure. Yeah, going around corners on this kind of style bike is a little bit different to what I'm used to. It's certainly with where you position yourself and that sort of thing. But the lights have changed. It's not uncomfortable, but it's just a little bit different to what I'm used to. But yeah, which is my preferred bike? To be honest, I probably do prefer the CB500X. I did prefer it before I got on either of them, but actually the 750 was a big surprise. I expected it to be heavy and slow, and it was neither of those. It was remarkably easy to manoeuvre, aside from that point about it just takes a bit more time to turn and stuff, but it didn't feel heavy or anything. So someone else going out on a bike with a nice camera strapped to the top of his head. Oh, just so you know, the camera is actually inside my helmet, so no one can really see it. And it's about the size of my thumb, because I've got an extension cable that runs to a separate unit that powers it. Right, so off we go. Around the corner. Yeah, actually it's pretty nimble, this bike, to be honest. Second gear pull away from a corner. It's quite a lot of fun. So that's quite nice. Let's see if I can see myself in the window. Not really. Okay. So there we have it. I need to get used to using my toe. Both bikes, both very good. I wouldn't say the NC750 is ugly. I do quite like the look of the 500 though. A bit sleeker, a bit thinner. Although there is probably slightly higher quality on the 750. So there we have it. Make your own mind up.